Alright, here's the retake quiz and the scoring of it. So as we go through this, I just wanted to walk you through the problems. So on the first one, we have to the power and we have the root. So if we look at 32, 32 is actually 2 to the 5th. Because it's 2 to the 5th root of that is going to be equal to 2. So right there, those two values will reduce to 2. So what are we left with? 2 to the negative second. 2 to the negative second. 2 squared is 4, but with the negative exponent, it's going to go to the denominator. So our final answer, 1 over 4. All right. So over here to this one, look at this one. The cube root of 27 is 3. There's a negative under there. So remember, negative cube roots are allowed to be domain-wise. So negative 3 is the actual final solution of just the root. And then we have to take it to the fourth power. But the fourth power is going to then be applied, obviously, to the negative yet. So the fourth power on the negative will become positive when it gets to 81. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 9 is 81. Right, so that's your answer for number 2. All right. Number 3. So looking to simplify these, obviously we have 4 to the 4th. All right. We have 4 to the 36th, 4 to the 9th. All of them are fourth root. All right. Which means they're all under the same big radical and they can reduce into each other, which makes this very friendly. So the 4 can actually reduce with the 36. And that's going to reduce to a 9. So that's going to leave me fourth root of 9 times 9. And we just got done dealing with that up here in this problem, right? 3 to the 4th was 81. So 3 to the 4th and the fourth root is going to leave me 3. So the answer number 3 is 3. In problem number 4, they're both under fifth roots, but there's no canceling going on here. So if we want to think of this, you can think of this as 4 to the 1/5, and we have, well, let's see, this is actually interesting, because that's actually a 3 to the 3rd, right? So we could go 3 to the 3/5, just like I could go up here, and I could change that if I wanted to 2 to the 2/5. All right. Problem is there's still different bases, a 2 and a 3. They're not going to reduce to anything. We can't combine them. So the only thing we can do here rationally is to get rid of this and rationalize the denominator. So in order to make this 1, we want to multiply by 3 2/5, because when we multiply across, just write it up there as well, multiply across, we want to get that all to be the same, to be a power of 1. So that becomes 3 to the 1st. And then up above, since they're both in the 2/5 power, guess what? They can both go under the same radical. So we actually have under the fifth root, Mr. Scholl, fifth root, you have a 2 squared and a 3 squared. All right. And lo and behold, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 times 9 is 36. So final answer, fifth root, 36, all divided by 3. All right. In this one, they're both on the cube roots. Again, they can be reduced, so that goes to the cube root of 27. Oops, that 3 belongs up there. Cube root of 27, and the cube root of 27 is equal to 3. Number 6. They're both different bases, so x and y, there's no connections that are going to be able to combine or reduce. You can't subtract exponents or anything like that. But we just take the fourth root of both. So the fourth root of x to the 17th. See, 4 into 17 goes 4 times remainder 1. So that's going to be x to the 4th with the remainder under the radical of 1. Right, again, fourth root. The y term is in the bottom. 4 into 8 goes twice, so y squared. There is no remainder, so therefore there's nothing remaining in the radical. We don't need to record the first power there, so I can remove that. And this is my final answer. There's no radical here to rationalize. Okay. Number 7. So we can't combine them by adding or subtracting until the radicals all match. So again, doing the same thing we did here. 5, well, 64 is fifth root, so that's 64. That's 2 to the 6th. All right, so 5 into 6 goes 1 time, so out comes a 2. 1, 2 will remain. All right, same with the x's. 5 goes into 9 1 time, and we have some remainders. So let's now list our remainders. What are our remainders? We have a 2 left over from this one, and we have 4 left over from that one. Minus, all right, 5. And how many times does the x go in? Oh, I forgot to write the y to third here, sorry. And how many times does the 5 go in to the x? Very good. So it goes in once. And we have 4 left over. So we'll have x to the first. In the radical remaining, we'll have 4 of the x's. Notice they're matching up nicely. And 5 goes into y how many times? 3 times. No remainders. There's nothing left inside. Do we have anything else inside the radical, number-wise? The answer is no. So we're missing that 2 from in here. So can we combine these? And the answer is no, we cannot. We need a 2 in here for the value. And since we don't have it, no can do. So therefore, this is your final answer right here. Again, the 1s are optional. You don't need the 1s on this for exponents. All right, and in this problem here, we have, let's see here, we've got a third power outside on third roots. So what do we know that these guys are all going to be the same since it's multiplication? So we have x to the 7 times x to the 5th is x to the 12th, all under the third power, which is all taken to the negative third power. So the thirds and the 3 are going to cancel out. We're left with a negative 1 out here. So negative 1 multiplied against the 12, x to the negative 12th. But we don't want a negative exponent, so we'll break that down below. And there's your final answer for number 8, 1 over x to the 12th. All right, and then the composite functions. All right, so the first one here, sorry I forgot the parenthesis there to close. And then first thing, we're going to take the g function, which is here. We're going to put it into the h. So h of x squared minus 1 is equal to, then we go to the h, we'll look for it there. All right, so we put the x squared minus 1 and replace for the g of x. All right, that's what it says right there. And now we're going to put it into the h function, so into that h. So x squared minus 1 appears wherever the h is, and then plus 1. All right, so all of that went in for the x, plus 1. These guys are going to cancel out. I'm left with just x squared. All right, x squared has no domain restrictions, so the domain is all reals. On to the next one. So f of x is this first one listed here. So we have 6x squared minus 3x minus, and now I'm going to subtract g of x, minus x squared minus 1. Now, of course, make sure you think of all of that as one big substitution. So the negative sign is going to have to get distributed to both terms. So 6x squared minus x squared is 5x squared. Minus 3x, no, nothing to combine. And minus minus 1 is plus 1. This is just a simple quadratic. We have our solution. Again, quadratic has no domain restrictions, therefore all reals. All right, and in this last one, f of x divided by g of x. So f of x is 6x squared minus 3x, all divided by x squared minus 1. All right off the bat, we notice that we have a domain restriction. X cannot equal plus or minus 1. Otherwise, we'll get division of 0. So we have this all reals except that. So just recognizing the division, and then you can't have a 0 in the denominator. That's important. Now, the next piece is we need to actually simplify this, because this is not final. So do not just separate and divide and just reduce. This is a quantity that has to get done first. That has to get done first. They cannot just divide into individual pieces. So factor. Find some greatest common factors. Up top we have a 3x. Takes us out to a 2 left times an x minus 1. All right. And in the bottom, we end up getting a x minus 1, x plus 1. And we go look to simplify. And nothing is actually going to simplify out in this case. All right, because nothing is going to reduce. No x's, nothing like that. So therefore, this technically is your final answer once you factored it out. Okay? Don't try to force the division if you need to. Okay? Just so you know, that direction is on all my quizzes when it gets to this piece, when I look at ones that have quadratics. And the idea is that you need to check for the simplification. In this case, there was none, just like there was nothing up here in number 7 to combine, and that remains our final answer. We need to double check that. All right. Hope you enjoyed the review of your makeup quiz, and we'll catch you on the flip side.